90 men lost, 760 men defeated. What I actually killed, who got the most kills? My general's bodyguard. Lost 15, killed 256. I could have done better, but still, I think that speaks for itself. More than 10 to 1. Similar on the other general's bodyguard. Bow attendants actually did quite well too. 1 in 92. That I'm impressed by. Though I guess they just probably never got shot at. Sword attendants, not bad. Bow levy, meh. Naginata levy did nothing. And there is our first town. I will peacefully occupy. I could have made that town a vassal, but I chose not to. Vassals are basically samurai lords who are subservient to a higher ranking samurai lord. So if I were to make this town a vassal, I would allow it to continue to exist. I wouldn't destroy it. I would allow that clan to continue to exist as long as it paid tribute to me, A, and fought for me in times of war, B. That's what a vassal is expected to do. To be obedient, fight in times of war, but a vassal is still his own sort of lord. His country is still, his territory is still his territory, but he is subservient to somebody else. I chose not to because I want to have Musashi. I don't feel like making vassals this early in the game just to watch them betray me later. So for now, I'm taking it. It's got an extra building slot, which I don't think it needs, really. I'm going to hang on to my money this turn, actually, because I want to build my gold loads next turn. And we'll spend a little bit on... I'll spend... Will I have enough then still? 2,400 and I've got 1,500 income? Yeah. I'll build a unit of sword attendants, because they're useful as kind of kamikaze units. You charge them in, not necessarily expecting them to survive or win, but they'll do okay. I'm not going to exempt this province from tax because I don't need to yet. Next turn I might. Actually, they might revolt against me, but you know what? I'd rather them revolt against me, and then I can get another battle in for my daimyo and upgrade him to the next level. So I will do that. Can now trade with the Minamoto, my Kiso Minamoto allies. So we are basically two branches of the same samurai clan, same warrior caste group of people. At this point in Japanese history, and indeed up until the Sengoku Jidai, Japan was kind of following a Confucian model for, well, not necessarily Confucian, but a model for the structuring of society that put nobles and learned people at the top, so aristocrats and scholars and the like at the top. It put merchants at the very bottom. Warriors were second, and then came peasants, and then artisans, and then merchants. So it was at the very top, your nobles, your aristocrats. Next came the samurai, the warriors, because obviously they are important for fighting wars. Then under the samurai are the peasants. They're obviously very important to any society because they grow and fish all of the food in Japan. They grow all the rice, they catch all the fish. So peasants are very valuable. They're more valuable even than artisans, which are the next tier. Artisans are people who build metalwork, carpentry, woodwork, who make things, who are in towns building things. And they're viewed as being important because obviously, you know, nobody wants to sleep on a rock. Having somebody who makes pillows is pretty cool. But at the same time, they're not as important as peasants because peasants make food. You can't even live without food. Underneath all of that are the merchants. And the reason the merchants are so reviled is because according to this worldview, the merchants don't actually add anything. All they do is bring the food and the craft goods to the consumer and take profit. They're just considered to be a necessary sort of leech. So they're viewed as being very, very low on the caste scale. Now, merchants are obviously going to be wealthy because that's why you become a merchant, is to create wealth. So that created a lot of problems in later eras of Japan when, like, merchants weren't allowed to wear silk, but they wanted to because they could afford it. So maybe I'll talk about that in another video. You won't trade with me, will you? I'll pay you 80 gold. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. Probably there will be a rebellion here, but I can handle it, and we will deal with it. I want to take Shimoza and Kazusa as well, as soon as I can. So this region of Japan in the east here is called the Kanto. Kanto is where Tokyo, modern-day Tokyo, is. It is one of the most wealthy and prosperous regions in all of Japan. The majority of the reason for that is, look at this big open field. Big patch of lowlands. You have to recognize Japan is a very mountainous country. If you look at just the parts of the map I can't see. Mountains. More mountains. Mountains. And so any stretch of area, like, for example, the Yamato Plain, this whole area without mountains, or the Kanto, that's a place where you can grow a lot of food. And again, food surpluses are what drives civilization. So the fact that I'm going to hopefully conquer it very soon will allow me to increase my wealth and my prestige by quite a lot. So, Edo rebels, they are on their way, they're going to come face me. But I'm going to be defending, and I'm a human, so I'm going to beat them. They might even wait long enough for me to get my next unit into the fray, but we shall see. I doubt it. Going to go ahead and pass turn again. Sorry if I'm passing turn faster than certain people would like, but that's kind of how I like to play early game. I want to get things rolling economically and then worry about things. What I'm going to do next turn, actually I should have done this earlier, is I'm actually going to kind of exploit the computer for money. And I'll show you how I do that. Lots of other YouTubers have done it before, so it might not be anything new, but for some of you it might. Yep, they're going to give me enough time to build up my sword attendants, go into that army, and then hop in. There you go. I might even attack them on the field, because I'm pretty sure they're all crummy units, but I will wait, because in one turn, I'll be able to start making foot samurai. I can also upgrade my farms to dry field agriculture. This point in Japanese history, that would be the more common thing, is dry field agriculture. You have to the thing to know about rice paddies is it takes a lot of concerted human effort to build those without machines. That's a lot of digging to dig the canals and the irrigation networks to bring the water from this river all the way out to even here. And that's what you need to do if you want to have large-scale rice agriculture. So right off the bat, I'm just building dry field agriculture, which means that it's not going to be quite as abundant and fertile as a rice paddy might be in the best conditions. The fact that the Japanese did eventually develop irrigation networks is part of the reason that their population was able to grow so much despite having so little arable land, so little land that they can use for that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and attack this army on the field. I think I can beat them. They have one unit of mounted samurai, and that is somewhat disconcerting, but I have 3 archers to their 3 archers, and I have 3 infantry to their 3 infantry. So I think I can do this. I'm going to quick save just to be sure. Sorry to you hardcore fans out there who think that that is evil, but I don't like playing on Legendary. I like to be able to quick save. Sue me. I have a decent hill. They might come at me, which would be nice. I really hope they don't take that hill in the top left, though. That would be unfortunate. If they deployed right here and then ran for it, I wouldn't be able to stop them, and then I'd have to fight them off of a decently tough hill. I might be able to deploy on this hill and then bait them across the gap. We'll see. We'll see what they do. Often they'll just deploy in the middle and be like, "Durr, come at us." And I will. I'll beat you. So, foes. Normally, if this was regular Shogun, I would put them in loose formation, but they're already in loose formation because of the era. Sword attendants, stretch out. Naginata, you can go behind them. And General, you are going to hang back this battle. Alright. Yep, looks like they're not going to go for that. I'm going to go ahead and just fight them in this nice big open field. I think that I can beat them without having any height advantage or anything like that. I can out-micromanage them. Try and keep my swords back in the early fights so that they don't get hosed down by arrows. Look, those glorious mounted samurai as their textures slowly load. Sorry, my computer isn't the very best that ever was, but it's a pretty decent one. So notice how wide my units are on this map. In a normal game of Shogun, normally they'd be like unit, 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 unit. Because I've got them already so spread out, and I've got them in a big wide line, they look super, super loose on the map. Right. Pretty sure my sword attendants should be able to just plow through their Naginata, even the Naginata attendants. That big old sword, that would have been incredibly expensive to make in this era of Japan. Iron is relatively rare in Japan, and so making a weapon that large that wouldn't break would take a lot of funds, a lot of resources to pull together. It's one of the reasons I don't understand why this unit is not a samurai unit, why it's an attendant unit. I don't think that an attendant would necessarily be able to get a sword that big. Alright, foot archers, slowly move forward. Those mounted samurai could really wreck my bow, so I kind of want to make sure that my Naginata levy are ready to repel them if necessary. Ooh. Alright, check this. Alright, there come their general. They're gonna charge. Naginata, get in the way. Bows. Start shooting. Alright, I'm just gonna charge them actually. Bows. Alright, so I kind of just pushed through them with the swords. Did everything in my power to shoot apart a unit or two, but for the most part my advantage in that battle lay in the fact that I had my sword attendants and they had naginata attendants. And in this game, swords beat polearms in a toe-to-toe, charged into head-to-head sort of fight. Now my general is just going to get lots and lots of kills. I'm doing this in this battle because the fewer of them that escape, the fewer of them I have to fight again later. Arrows, fool. Sword attendants did pretty darn good. 170 kills, 40 losses. It's not great, but it's not bad. General has 223 kills and no losses. No, Bo, stop firing. You're gonna change that. You're gonna kill one of his guys. Stab. Yeah. And so this is where a really, really brave, skilled warrior comes into his own. Is when you're wheeling around, firing arrows at close range, at moving targets while you are moving. That sort of skill is not something that you can just, give a guy a bow and expect him to do. That takes years of training and skill with riding, skill with archery. Honestly, I've heard research that says that archery shot from horseback uses different parts of your brain than regular archery. So it's not even something that you could have a good archer get on a horse and be expected to be a good horse archer. It's a very specialized skill. So samurai at this point, this is their bag. They are horse archers. Later eras of samurai, when battlefields became more crowded and more about packed units and tactical warfare, then you had samurai who were like, I am a swordsman, I am a specialist katana warrior, or I am a naginata specialist. At this point in history, almost all samurai are bowcav. Well, guys, I gave you a field battle and a castle battle so far. And my daimyo has leveled up. Alright, Master Potter, daimyo's honor, go aboard, command and attack online. I'm going to go with the honor. I've already got a decent amount of honor, but I would like to keep getting more. Because if I have lots of honor, that will allow my general to take advantage of other people in diplomacy more readily. Leader and warrior, I'm going to go for strategist, and then eventually guardian, because I want to have stand and fight. I might get vanguard. We'll see. Alright, so I told you I would show you how I can make money off of other clans. Here is how I do it. Going to go to every clan down the line and offer them military access for 5 turns. They don't want it, don't offer it to them. Don't want it, screw you too. They want it. Now, I can ask for money in order to get it from them. Will you give me 1,000? They probably don't have 1,000. Otherwise, they would say yes. So, I'm going to ask for less. Demand 500. They're willing to pay me 500. So, bam, that's 500 gold in my treasury I didn't have before. I'll go to the next one. Kiso Minamoto. Actually, they already have military access, so I can't do that to them. Nita. Would you like military access? They do. Would you like to pay me for it? Not 1,000. What about 500? What about 250? Alright, so they will pay me 250. The Takeda. They want it. Would you give me 1,000? Nope. 500? Yes. Maybe a little bit more. Can you give me 750? Wait, no, not offer. Demand. Nope. So 500 it is. And the Yuki. Now, this means that I'm not going to be able to declare war on any of those clans that I'm giving military access to for a little while. I'll have to wait those 5 turns. Doesn't look like they're going to pay me anything, though. About 50 gold. No, not offer. They'll pay me 50. I don't think I'm going to take anything less than 250, though. Nope. Alright. So, that being the case, that means that I cannot attack Kajiwara, the Nita, the Takeda. So, these 3 clans, I cannot attack them. But I wasn't going to anyway because they are very friendly towards me and they are Minamoto themselves. I request allegiance from them, but I'm not going to attack them militarily. Yuki, however, didn't buy my military access, so I'm going to attack them. But now I've got a bunch more money, even though this turn, or what did I build this turn? I built dry field agriculture this turn. So now I can actually build it again, or wait, I can build a barter exchange here, and one more sword attendant. Alright guys, I think that might do it for my first upload. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to hear your feedback in comments. If I got something wrong, let me know. I will correct myself in the future. Otherwise, I really hope you had a good time, and I hope you come back for more.